The Black Snowman by Phil Mendez. Somewhere in a lonely grass hut in western Africa, an aged storyteller prepares for the arrival of the village children. He tells stories of Anansi the spider, stories of how Anansi's head came to be so small, and of how jealousy came to the Ashanti tribe. The storyteller is ready, except for one important thing, a brightly colored kente. As he wraps the cloth around him, his mind transforms into that of a young native. As an old man, he has forgotten the many stories, but when he wears his magic kente, the stories are quick and sharp in his mind. The kente restores his memory. The storytelling ritual continues for many years. Village children grow up and have their own children and send them to hear and to learn. But one day the storytelling comes to an end. Invaders capture the villagers and seize their property. The prisoners are loaded onto ships that crossed a vast ocean to a continent called America, where the African people are sold into slavery. The magic kente is sold too. It passes through generations even after slavery is no more. 1,000 uses fray its delicate threads until it is discarded as a useless rag. But it still possesses the magic. It still has the wonders to perform. Jacob Miller always woke up late on Saturday mornings, but not today. When his eyes opened, his heart was beating rapidly. He did not remember that his dream, but it must have been a bad one. He felt frightened. He felt angry. Jacob reached out to turn on the light, and on the base of the lamp a cowboy swung a lasso that formed the trimming for the bottom of the shade. The cowboy's left hand was chipped and the lasso torn. The boy who owned the lamp for the very first time would be an old man by now. Jacob would have chosen a lamp with robots or space warriors, but like everything else he owned, the lamp was old and well used. Jacob felt furious just to look at it. Jacob dressed quickly and followed delicious breakfast smells coming from the kitchen. His younger brother Pee-wee was standing beside their mother at the stove. "Can we go Christmas shopping today?" Pee-wee asked. "Well, not today," Mama said. "Not today or any day," Jacob interrupted. "Poor folks like us can't afford Christmas." "Now, Jacob," Mama spoke, trying to smooth over the hurt she saw rushing into Pee-wee's eyes. "Maybe we won't go shopping together, but I know there's going to be presents." "Sure," said Jacob. "Maybe we'll get some old socks from that well-known clothes store, the Salvation Army." Jacob's bitter words mocked his mother. Hurt, she yelled back at him, "Don't you ever talk like that in this house. Ever. Do you hear me, Jacob?" "Please don't fight," Pee-wee cried. "Mama, Jacob's sorry." But Jacob wasn't sorry, for this scene was repeated at least once a week, and the words were not always the same, but the hurt was the same. Jacob walked away and sat quietly on the same stool he always sat on. He held his head in his hands and stared out the kitchen window, holding back his tears. Nothing was said as Mama mixed and poured pancake batter into the skillet. Jacob knew his mother was waiting for an apology, but he couldn't speak to her. Mama stumbled over her words. "I know it's hard on you, son. We're just going through some rough times now, but—" Jacob broke down in a rage. "I hate being black. I hate it." A chill ran down Mama's back as if her spine were a huge icicle. "Being black ain't got nothing to do with it, son." "Everything black is bad," Jacob repeated words he'd heard others say. "You ever heard of a black house? No, but there's a white house. And a white tornado cleans your sink and a black one destroys your house. And how about the fairy tales? It's the white knight who wins, the black ones who loses. Good magic is white and black magic is bad." "That's nonsense, Jacob. Those are just tired old words I've been hearing since I was a girl." Pee-wee tugged at his mother's skirt. "Mama!" "No, not Not now, Pee-wee, Mama says, staring sadly at her older son. Pee-wee tried again. Mama! Shh, Mama said, but as she turned around, she noticed smoke rising from the pan. She looked inside and started to laugh. And Pee-wee laughed too. What's so funny? Jacob asked. That is the man in the pan. There's no man in there, just a black pancake. Child, you have no imagination. Mama bustled around the kitchen until her masterpiece was complete. She gave the pancake man 2 Cheerios for eyes and a sausage for a mouth. Jacob tried to hold back a smile, but could not. He laughed so hard he felt ready to burst. Mama tickled Jacob, and both boys tickled her back, and they all found themselves on the kitchen floor. Mama doubled over. Jacob and Pee-wee kicked their feet in the air. Do you think our pancake man is happy being black? Jacob asked. Why, of course, said Mama. Happy ain't got no color. Then Jacob's laughter dissolved as quickly as it can't come. This is dumb, he said, as he grabbed his coat and walked out the door. The morning air was crispy cool. Patches of white snow winked brightly between the puddles of gray, foot-worn slush. Horns honked at children who aimed their snowballs at buses and trucks. Jacob stepped out into a battle. 2 snowballs exploded on either side of him. He jumped out into the battlefield, dodged a few missiles, and then retreated out back, where he could sit on the cellar door and be alone. But it was no use. Pee-wee was already on his trail. What do you want? Jacob asked. I just want to play with my big brother, said Pee-wee. Let's build a snowman. We can't build a snowman, Jacob snapped. Just look at that snow. It's watery and black from all the people trampling on it. Then we'll make a black snowman, said Pee-wee. A black snowman? Just what I always wanted, said Jacob. Jacob watched as Pee-wee packed the snow with his small hand. At the rate you're going, you won't be done till spring, Jacob said. With Jacob's help, the work went quickly, and the harder Jacob worked, the better he felt. This black snowman sure could use some dressing up, he suggested. It was Pee-wee's job to pick through the trash to find a wardrobe. Steel wool for hair, button for eyes, and a funny old hat. Pee-wee looked at the snowman proudly, but Jacob had a more critical eye. Something's missing, he said. Like what? Said Pee-wee. Like it's cold out here. Find him something to wear on his shoulders. Pee-wee returned to the trash, where a colorful cloth caught his eye. Look at this, Pee-wee said as he held up the cloth for his brother to see. Nah, Jacob scowled. Don't use that. It doesn't go with the rest of him. Find something else. Well, I like it, Pee-wee said, and I'm going to use it. And Pee-wee carefully draped the cloth around the snowman's lumpy body. Though old and torn, the cloth began to come alive again with powers passed down through the many generations. Pee-wee had discovered the magic kente. Now he's perfect, Pee-wee said. Jacob looked at the sooty snowman in his tattered hat and shawl, and he felt sad and angry at the same time. A black snowman, Jacob said. Is that ugly? Who are you calling ugly? The boys looked around but saw no one. Who said that? Jacob said. I did, over here. It's our snowman, said Pee-wee, skipping with delight. Our snowman can talk. Jacob stared suspiciously. The snowman picked up Pee-wee and lifted him high. Well, look here, said the snowman, a little one who still believes. The snowman put Pee-wee down again, and they danced. We have to go, said Jacob. The snowman led his partner towards Jacob. But you haven't danced yet, said the snowman. Why, it's downright impolite not to dance with new friend. You're no friend of mine, Jacob said. The snowman walked around Jacob. He pressed his glove to Jacob's forehead, squinted his eyes in concentration. The snowman's color changed from gray to pink to red to yellow to blue and finally to solid black. It was as if all the colors in the space had painted themselves onto his body. He opened his eyes wide, as if he had made a sudden discovery. "So black is bad, huh?" said the snowman. "That's right," Jacob spoke up. "Well, what is more important in a book, the white pages, or the black words, or the message the book holds?" asked the snowman. "Huh?" Jacob looked puzzled. "The heavens are black, the universe is held in it," said the snowman. "Should we call the earth bad because it's cradled in blackness?" Jacob didn't know what to say. The snowman continued, "Have you ever sat at the table of your forefathers? Have you ever accepted the shield of courage they have passed along to you?" Jacob hesitated. He didn't know what this crazy snowman was talking about. "Jacob! Pee-wee!" Mama called from the window. "Oh, brother, it's Mama," Pee-wee spoke up and then yelled back, "Coming, Ma!" The snowman broke the spell. "We will meet again, Jacob. My work with you has just begun." The boys scooted down the alley into the street, and in the hallway they agreed not to tell Mother or anyone else about what had just happened. The night's curtain fell upon the day, and the room was dark, except for the street light that showed dimly through the window. "So what do you think about our snowman? Pretty neat, huh?" said Pee-wee. "What's so neat about an ugly black snowman?" Jacob asked. "He's no ordinary snowman," said Pee-wee. "I don't want to talk about him," said Jacob. "But he's alive! Our snowman is alive!" said Pee-wee. "It's just in your imagination," Jacob lied. "Now go to sleep and leave me alone." "Then let's talk about Christmas," said Pee-wee. "I want to get Mom something real special this year." Jacob became angry. "Don't you understand anything? We don't have any money." "But I have a plan. We can collect empty bottles and cans and turn them in for refund money," Pee-wee explained. "If we collect a whole lot, we can buy Mama a special present. We can buy her that perfume that she likes so much. What do you think, huh, Jacob?" "Where are you going to get all those cans and bottles, Pee-wee? You have to walk half the city to find them." "Oh, no. I seen cans all over that old building across the street. That's where a lot of people throw their stuff." "No way," said Jacob. "Don't you go near that place. That building is falling to pieces, and Mama will get angry. Anyway, I ain't looking through nobody's garbage." Jacob could tell that Pee-wee was sleeping, but Jacob's mind was too crowded with confusing thoughts to fall asleep just yet. And then Jacob heard a voice. "Arise, great warrior!" As Jacob approached the window, a blue-white light rose from the alley below. The snowman was standing with his hands up towards the sky. He waved at the broken wall of the building, and a single brick dislodged and fell. And on its way down, the brick changed its shape, and standing in the alley was an African warrior. Then the snowman threw a trash can lid high into the air, and as it spun, it turned into a majestic black queen. Jacob put his coat over his pajamas and ran outside. The snowman stepped upon a mound of snow and then waved his arm and asked, "Have you studied with the scholars of Timbuktu?" Suddenly a small clump of snow transformed into a giant figure. "Or ridden with the horsemen of Borno?" With just a wave of his arm, a horse and rider rose out of the snow. "Have you danced with the Zulu, wrestled with the Nuba, hunted with the Bini? Have you heard of the stories of the Shanti, the poems of the Tarag, the prayers of the Zande?" "Who are these people?" Jacob asked. "They are people like you," said the snowman. "They are strong, brave Africans from whom you descend. Black people who should make you proud of your great heritage." "I'm not like them," said Jacob. "I'm not a warrior. I'm just a boy." Jacob ran back upstairs and hid under his blankets, but he could not fall asleep for a long, long time. The next day, Jacob woke to see Pee-wee at his bedside with a shopping bag in his hand. "This is your last chance. Are you going or not?" Pee-wee said. Jacob rolled over, turned his back towards Pee-wee. "Go hunt your garbage by yourself," said Jacob, and he pretended to go back to sleep until his brother left the room. After Jacob dressed, he poked around the kitchen stove to see what Mama was cooking for Sunday dinner. "I'm making your favorite," said Mama. Mama was always trying to make things better. Pee-wee was right. She deserved something special for Christmas. "I'm going out for a while," Jacob said. And Jacob looked up and down the block, but Pee-wee was nowhere in sight. And then, boom! An explosion. Jacob hit the ground and hit his head, and when he looked up, he saw smoke and fire coming from the abandoned building across the street. The black snowman appeared at his side. "Pee-wee is in that building," he said, and the snowman ran into the burning building with Jacob close behind. Great licking flames devoured everything they touched. Wooden beams collapsed as the fire consumed their last bit of moisture. The air was filled with smoke that seemed to form shapes of great Africans, giving Jacob courage and leading him to his brother. Jacob pressed himself close to the coolness of the snowman's body, and the snowman covered himself and the boy with the kente. Beneath this magical cloth they were safe from the smoke and the flames. In a room on the second floor they found Pee-wee huddled in a corner, sobbing between coughs, sitting next to his shopping bag that was half filled with bottles and cans. As Jacob hugged his brother, he noticed the trail of water that the snowman was leaving behind him. The snowman's feet had melted away. "Restore, restore," the snowman said, and the snow returned to his feet. The snowman removed the kente from his own shoulder and wrapped the two boys in it. It's protective magic, and under the safety of the kente there was only room for two. The snowman melted rapidly. His feet and legs had turned to slush. He walked awkwardly, bumping into burning beams, and stumbled over falling debris. His melting arms felt for the doorway and found Jacob's outstretched arms. "Snowman," Jacob whispered. "Restore, restore," the snowman repeated, but he was weakening. "Jacob, get your brother out. Jacob, believe in yourself. Gather up your courage. Fight, Jacob. Fight off the flames of all those bad feelings you carry inside. Believe in your strength. Believe in your love for your brother. Believe that you can save Pee-wee, and you will." Almost overcome with tears, Jacob said, "I believe, Snowman, I believe." "Restore," said the snowman once again. Jacob wrapped the cloth even more tightly around himself and his brother and fought smoke and flames all the way down the stairs, and once again the Africans appeared and showed Jacob the way. When the boys reached the bottom, they turned around and the snowman was gone, leaving only a puddle of water that soon evaporated into the extreme heat. "Where do you think he is?" Pee-wee asked. On one of the bottom steps, Jacob noticed steel wool buttons and a funny old hat. "I think he's gone," said Jacob. As the boys left the burning building, they saw their mother break through the crowd. Jacob felt smothered in hugs and kisses. He decided it was a good feeling. Jacob closed his eyes and took a long, deep breath. He suddenly felt lucky to have Pee-wee and Mama. He felt glad to be alive. He felt good about himself. Restored, yes. "My cans," said Pee-wee. "I forgot my cans for Mama's present." "Hush," said Jacob. "We'll look for cans tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go together." It took several hours for the fire department to put out the blaze, and finally it was all over, and on his way back to the truck, one of the firemen noticed a colorful cloth hovering over in the snow. Thinking his daughter could use the cloth to make a dress for her doll, he picked it up and put it in his pocket.